Alright, on September 15th, 2021. I've got a bunch of different things rolling around in my head. I know that to some, the fact that one would even have a uncharacteristic measurement of a flag, which is the only thing that unifies us, is such a sore bone of contention. I completely understand this. I am just not in a society that even mentions that the flag has a set standard. I wouldn't know. There are some people in the world that know, I don't know what you call them, or they're the career, but that gets confusing between public and private. So it's not something that they teach in the public school here, which has private residence. If we go under the guise of everybody's child is evil, let's just do that, my children included. So nobody is perfect, nobody is wonderful, and everybody is evil at this point, because that's where I'm living. And I'm one of something totally different that does not want to get into the middle of this useless argument with the children. So now, I'm stuck where they don't teach the importance of the flag. They don't teach any history of the flag. It's not a staple. They don't teach nationalism. They don't teach pride in one's homeland or pride in one's people. Now, it might not be everywhere, but specifically where I am located in the United States of America, I suppose it's USA for my purpose of Main Street in Bayside Station. Department of Homeland Security. I went to Staples today, Staples, which is a business supply chain retail store of non-essential whatever, but inside of Staples is the name. There's some Department of Homeland Security seal that I've seen used on the broadcast news of television. And then it has a campaign from their people of the letter T, the letter S, the letter A, and then the letter P, the letter R, the letter E. Now, I know that this is significant because these campaigns run, but you are running on fumes because everything is set up wrong, and then they just keep changing presidents and administrations and campaigns and funding, and then they're like, well, but who owes what? And like, it's Abbott and Costello. No, nothing ever gets done. TSA. I can't remember if it's a capital P, but it's a lowercase r-e. That's what it looks like. That was at a store. It was at a retail store called Staples. Now, my grandfather walked around at one point in his life in I guess it would be blazer or a jacket that was white and black checkered. I do not know what this means, but I do have my scarf, which even, it's September and it's really hot outside. But I said to Lewis earlier, because he wanted me to take it off, and I'm like, get out of my face. Also, when I was walking on the boulevard, I realized Lewis is so close to me, and his pineal gland inside between the two ears and the connection to cognition in the main machine with the machine sending broken brainwave signals. He's an Aquarius, and I'm in a Cancer machine. My Gemini brother, which is my grandfather, he's from the year 1910 or 1911. He's passed away. The 1949 was the year that was affected. It looks like on both of my inlets or outlets, being Linda and Lou. I said to Lynn and Lou this morning, I'm like, there's a song by a color-skinned man called L.L. Cool J. Linda Lou made J Cool. Right, and the song is called Mama is Gonna Knock You Out. I played it for Linda this morning. It was very hard to hear the lyrics. That might be something you want to linguistically read coptically in optical illusions rather than having to auditorily listen to the musician himself if the rap game is not your cup of tea. So that happened. Let's think about this. So Nono had a jacket that was like this. When he passed away, they didn't save it. I don't even think Lou would have any clue. But now, Grecia, I'm not sure. But the man upstairs said in his Latin that Angola was an angle. You just see things angly different. And Nono was in Albania for Grecia, and he has specifically other painting of Montenegro in Yugoslavia. His notarino was just sketch artist of what he saw on the landscape. So there was one or two pieces where he actually has a note on the side in the column, but for the most part it was just unabridged sketch of instead of taking the picture. That's how the artists were used and cultivated back when that was an acceptable term. I have to think about this. So then that takes me back to Department of Homeland Security. So here's the thing. I have Bayside Station, small mom and pop post, U.S. Post. It's supposed to have dedicated community resident family employed, not from outside of Bayside Station, specifically this important to protect me in small security operations. There's Greater Bayside, which has outposts, same as Main Street. My Bayside Station is protecting my Main Street, USA, on Bell Boulevard. There's specific reasons why it was drawn that way, and it was speculated that way, and it was ensured that it would stay that way. But yet everything has changed. It's no longer, what happens is when I have a small office with a sense of community. They know if Johnny shows up for work. They know if Johnny doesn't show up for work and he lives at whatever, Northern Boulevard, and then all of a sudden Joey shows up and he's living at Northern Boulevard and nobody knows where the original person went. The people at the U.S. Post know that, and they know who to report it to keep neat and tidy and safety. Why was that abandoned and annexed for some other payroll company, being a federal company? They wiped out, and when they annexed that, they lost pay grade system. They now work off of some hybridization, and there's no more Department of Homeland Security at all. I walk into my post office, I don't know any of these people. Do they live in Bayside? I don't know. Half of them travel. They get assigned. I mean, half the people in NYPD 111th Precinct. In fact, I believe Jason told me originally, you're not allowed to work in the precinct that you live in. I mean, that seems like you should probably do a rotation in your home structure, neighborhood. I'm just saying. But and then do some outpost work. But why would you not know your own people? How do you get involved in your sense of community and keep tight structure? I mean, this small nugget of wisdom is not even cherished here. And then, to add insult to injury, there's something, the alphabet soup that they use for United States Post Office is U.S.P.S. United States Post Office uses U.S.P.S. All right, so if that is part of the United States posted with zip code for small epicenter, Department of Homeland Security, an outpost of greater area, so you play home team really, really tight, which I currently don't have set up, which is really scary in Bayside Station. But let's just stick with my little section right now. They then opened something called a U.P.S., which is a United Parcel Service. This and this is way too close. And this down here is a private company. They claim worldwide service. And they also claim that they're thematic. They drive brown, like sepia, if we're doing photography or darkroom photography and artwork. They have a sepia hue on their, it's not black and white, it is a sepia vintage. That's a problem. Now, I have U.P.S., I have DHL, which I don't know what that stands for, but their colors are yellow and red. Then there's a FEDEX, which is orange and purple. I gotta think about this if there's any other ones. There used to be something called Airborne, or I don't know. That used to be red and white, but that's gone. They wiped them out. So then they're started with these overnight deliveries, like as if the people of New York were important enough to need overnighted paperwork. Really? They have really grown their sense of self-indulgence and self-importance to such disgusting lengths with programmed inefficiency. I was at Staples today, and everything was college ruled, but the paper said I needed wide ruled, and it had to be color marble. So what was on the list, I couldn't find on the shelves. It was like, I swear to God, I know that there's a VIP service on setting people up and setting things up and setting the set of the day up for specific calendar events. If I didn't know that they purposely messed with that particular retail store, I'd feel like I was going crazy. But I already know that I was set up today. In something so minuscule, they program inefficiency in my day to give me extra tasks or to see how I handle tasks like they are some self-indulgent cooperative. I swear to God, I can't wait for them all to fucking die and fall off the face of the earth. No, like in dangerous places that are giving like the real management people problems. So this is where we have UPS has a brown color, and it's United Parcel Service. It's a private company. I have no idea how they opened up. DHL is yellow and red. No idea how they opened up. There's FEDEX, which is orange and purple. No idea how they opened up. But they compete with the United States Post Office, U.S.P.S. And not in like a good competition kind of a way either. They always say, oh, it'll keep prices down. I swear to God, when you humans speak English, I want to put duct tape on your face because your words mean absolutely nothing. You don't understand how the system works. That is an off-rogue slogan. Now this I found very interesting. This came home from the local PS school. This is what they say they need. So this is the school's address. That's what it looks like for Anthony. And it's got this long list, right, of things, of school supplies. Protractor, ruler. Now, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 things circled. 4. 1 5-pack plastic folders with 3 holes needed to have pockets. 3 wide ruled assist color marble composition book 100 count. 1 5-subject wide notebook with pocket folders, and 1 Crayola crayons 24 count. So out of this submitted list, which the New York City and State Department agreed my child would learn and use during the school year, only 4 things were asked of my particular son, being that he's a target of something much more sinister and insidious. And things like a ruler, a protractor, and some other architectural style enhanced utility is not even being taught inside his elementary school. My other children, Benjamin, Alexander, and Daniel, they never used, to my knowledge, protractors and so on and so forth. At some point, I bought them. They were on my itemized bill of what I spent money on. I sent them to school with, but then they never wound up using them during the year. But I know somewhere in New York City, there is some school that is wholeheartedly like pushing architectural and engineering design, like for buildings and all sorts of stuff, and mathematics beyond. I mean, my kid gets here in the United States of America. He is only asked to bring in some plastic folders, a couple of marble composition books, and a wide notebook with crayons. He's in fourth grade. You tell me. System fair? Great. So why the hell is Homeland Security set up to make my child fail? Forget the rest of the city. There's way too many of... I am one of a minority. The rest of the city is polluted and nobody gives a shit. They've been so loud, so long, and only about themselves and their self-indulgence and the least important subject matter that they pulled us into this dangerous healthcare situation. I'm stuck in a country. Oh, here's the other thing. I watch on TV in Afghanistan, my heraldry and my lineage call themselves British, this color, with this kind of eye. They're considered British. They call the coffee toffee Afghans Americans when they work with the British for some reason. So now I'm just curious, what kind of American, and why are you giving them that level of importance when they have relatives in America that are such a degraded problem, and it's becoming more and more dangerous? I'm just curious, since everybody's been coloring outside the lines and language seems to be a real problem. I also found out last night, I thought Guerrera was a name. They said it means war. So Guerrera, gorilla. I got a mouth for war and I got a head for crime as to what you're all up to. That's pushed me into this really dangerous position of I'm only one and I'm the last of my kind. There's a couple of scattered people, but they don't really seem to be able to group together, and that does not help my argument whatsoever. But my grandfather was fighting this fight before I got here, and while I was growing up in this exact house, in this exact station, Bayside Station. So that's why I don't understand how this got so far out of alignment with anything that calls itself Department of Homeland Security or NYPD in the precinct of 111. We'll stay there for a second, since there's a whole lot of employment issues that go much deeper than such. And I did meet, my memory started working yesterday after I made the mention of the poisoning of the fish. I got poisoned first, and then Jason started feeling symptomatic, and then they said that his fish was also poisoned while I was pregnant with Ben. When I had come back, there was somebody there, which I can't remember the face, and I don't have the card any longer. Again, when planetary arrests, it's almost like a magic eraser, and then I don't have access to working memory of when we last met, and sometimes the things, my tangible assets that I had on my person that were really important, they don't survive the next setup or the when planetary returns after it arrests with some new settlement arrangement with the humans, which I don't promote, but it's just nothing's been set up properly for my arrival. And I'm the one I was even thinking about this morning. I'm like, okay, so if you have the company that looks somewhat like my heritage or like my genetic genealogy, and they say, okay, Rubrics knows she's delineated and it's dangerous for everybody in Cancer House, which is what we call the Earthlings. And then somebody says, oh, I checked the Rubicon. It shows she's delineated. Oh, I checked the lexicon. It looks like she's delineated. Oh, I checked the amplexus. It confirms she looks like she's been delineated. Why is it at that level of super importance, somewhere in the world that I don't have words for because I've never met you and I can't even picture you because my place that I fell out like an animal in a barn doesn't have whatever it is that you call normal? So now, why is it that that one simple task is so difficult to get confirmed and to get me in a better position? So this way I'm not suffering underpinned by all of the less than important issues, campaigns, politics, policy, and whatnot in this delineated position in the most horrific, dangerous celestial and planetary degradation. I can be part of the cure. I just don't know who or what to ask for help or how to even get myself positioned or situated that way, since I'm not supposed to be in the public voice or eye. I'm supposed to be in a private house, and so I'm in the public walking around with an umbrella quietly, and then I go back to my private house and I do this, but that doesn't seem like much of a rescue plan. So I don't know which human I was supposed to be relying on, but it's not working so well as how I had hoped, and I'm sure as you had hoped in whoever you are. So I don't understand. Could we get those letters from rubrics, Rubicon, lexicon, and amplexus to just confirm I've been delineated somehow so that one position can be restored? And then perhaps some of this other stuff would make sense. Also, on the news, the radio news, when I was out with Lynn going to the post office, Rite Aid, which is the drugstore for milk. At the drugstore you buy milk, and I bought popcorn, no drugs, but that's just what she calls it. When we were in the car, the radio personnel was saying about the vaccines, about putting a foreign body inside of your body that could have outlasting effects 20, 30 years down the road, and you never know. There is an articulation, a joint articulation on that of why would you insert these populations of people that are not your brethren into your home and into your homeland. I mean, and then wait 20 and 30 years just to see what happened. Why would you ever do that? And that's what this vaccine campaign is. It's just how dumb and useless have you all become with your own personal genetic health, safety, and welfare of you and your children? Because I can see the results of nobody even kept the post office small and running proper with a greater area and then like some communal like synergy. That's not even working. You just like cut it off and annexed it and went federal. Yeah? Why? It's September 15th, 2021. I'm Nicole Cattaruzza, and it's star 1978, star 8378. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, which I suppose is the epicenter. Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken.